Hi, my name is Michael DeSilvas. Today's discussion will be about pride. Now, when I was younger, about 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I had a serious ego problem. And I had a problem with pride. I always like to brag about things that I've done, the titles that I received, and the things that I accomplished, because I came from a rich family. And that's no excuse for that type of behavior. But 5, 10 years ago, I was that type of person. And I used to boast about what I did, and always like to brag about it, and always like to have the center of the attention. But I'm not that way anymore. God showed me through the years that pride is the killer of life. Pride also is the death and separation from God. Pride is a sin. Being prideful and not a man of humility can cause death. And I might have said it twice, but I want you to understand this because it's so important, folks. Pride can rob you of your character, of your dignity, and most of all, it can take you away from your loved ones and separate you and destroy your life, if you allow it. That's why Jesus tells us over and over again to not be prideful. Blessed is a man who can show true humility and be compassionate with love and understanding. Who do you think said those things? I say it, but Jesus said those things in the Gospels. That's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Pride, in essence, is a destroyer of societies. It's a destroyer of all mankind. It's a destroyer of freedom, and it's a disruptive force against everything that God represents and institutes. That's why pride is not something that should be a part of any Christian's vocabulary. Now, this afternoon, I had a man come to me, nice man, an African-American male, who seems like he's attended church, but he sort of lost his way. He did some kind of nonviolent type of crime, but he was over there at the Evangelical Friends Church doing some kind of service, to be rehabilitated. And he's there to help out. And that's what he was doing. He came to me today and said that I have a pride issue. And I said, well, I think you're really mistaken, sir. Because I used to be that way 5, 10, 20 years ago. And I've had an issue with it for a long time, but that's not me now. I said, my grandfather always said, and even Jesus said this, it's always good to let people find things out about you. Never expose your hand all at once. He said, well, that's prideful if you don't expose your hand all at once. I said, no, it's not, because then people don't think you're real. I said, secondly, it's not humility when you expose your hand all at once. Jesus says to let people discover who you are over time, because you don't want to tell people who you are when you're a stranger to that person, because too much information might get you in a whole lot of trouble. And not only that, it could cost you your life because of telling too much information all at once. That's why you have to earn your trust. Jesus said you have to be wise in all seasons. And so if I choose not to reveal myself all at once, that's not a man that's being prideful. That's a man that's being cautious and a man that's being of humility. That's the best tactic of offense, is not to reveal your cards to people. Not because you're dishonest or because you have a secret agenda. No, it's called being smart. It's how to balance true maturity and intellect and spiritual maturity, so that when the time comes, you can reveal your true nature to people without having to come across like you know it all or think you can do everything, because nobody can and nobody does truly know it all. And even in certain areas where we have special concentrations and titles and certificates and clearances, doesn't mean we know it all. I don't claim to be that. That's why there's people I go to in the field, or people that I know who I can talk to in the bureau, or even policemen even, that have special expertise more than I have. And I always ask them for help, and that's not prideful. That's humility. When I go to other people and ask for help, that's a sign of humility and a sign of Christian character. That's a sign of integrity. Well, these are things that are important, people, that instill the pillars of what America really is about. Being free is letting go of selfishness, pridefulness, conceitfulness. And that's what I've done a long time ago. And in the last 5 years, I've let it go. I've let it go totally. A man said that I was prideful because I interrupted his conversation. Now, sometimes when people know you and know who you were to where you are today, meaning I was prideful, but then 5 years later, 10 years down the road, I'm not that way anymore. Sometimes people can be that way because they're trying to lash back because so many people have put them down and gave them such a hard time and have been retaliated on and picked on by family members or other people that sometimes that's the only way they could, is just talk about themselves so they could reboost their ego. But of course, I used to be like that. But I'm not that way now because that doesn't work. Because people see the man or woman for who you really are when you're that way. And what I see when people reveal their hand too quick is a person that's not mature, a person that doesn't have spiritual discernment or maturity to know how to disseminate and to practice, to emulate, real true humility. Humility is something that you have to learn. It's a gift from God, but it's something you have to learn and to mature. And as you mature, that's where true humility comes from. Now, as far as pride is concerned, I've left pride on the roadside a long time ago. But as far as someone saying that I am prideful, without even knowing me, I think that's really strange. And for God to reveal that to him without knowing me, I don't think that was totally from God either, because he doesn't know me. Now, when I reveal something to him, I was speaking from God. And I think he'll be able to have a better life. If I see him outside the church, I'm no different than what I would be in the new evangelical Friends church. Because I love everyone. I don't care what color they are or where they come from. But the one thing I don't do is when I don't know somebody, I don't say something unless I hear something from the Holy Spirit, and I don't say it under false pretenses. Or I don't say something without really knowing and it's been led by the Holy Spirit. Not something that I think because I'm jealous or because I am not, I'm judgmental because I'm trying to slam somebody for the work or act that they're doing or a ministry that they're doing without really knowing all the facts from being in their shoes. But like me, I'm a people person. I generally know when something is right or when it's not. I've handled negotiations. I've handled hostile situations. I've handled different disputes and got them resolved. But the thing is, pride is not part of that. Humility is part of that. When you care for others and you show a genuine concern for others, that's humility. Pride can't be in that area because pride doesn't hang with humility at all. Now, you want to be like a character, true character. You need to practice and learn about humility, like Jesus talked about, taught about in the Bible, preached about in the Gospels. Humility is something he always showed to all humanity, and it's something that's hard for us to grasp, or to even to understand, or to emulate. But it is possible. I do it every day now as a preacher and as an evangelist at New Church of Christ. But pride is not part of my vocabulary or my life anymore. A true person that can grow in God is someone that does not have pride. But a person that wants to die and lose God in the end will remain always prideful. So you think about this. And this is my saying for you today. Tomorrow this is the lesson for today. I will send up another update to the clouds tomorrow. Or I should say, in a few hours today. I'll see you tomorrow. Subscribe down below. Let me know what you think. And this is a lesson about pride. Don't let it corrupt your life. Don't let it separate you from God. And don't let it claim your soul. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.